The reason why we are doing this in piecemeal is a function of the resources that are made available to us. If we have the resources that we need at a go, it means that all we have to do is to cover the entire country at one go.
But how trained are these ad hoc staff, considering the high-stake nature of this exercise in national planning?
First of all, don't forget this is a specialized agency of government. The people that are the staff of the commission are professionals. Whatever we do, we also sometimes get support from foreign donors in terms of training. But even beyond that, as I said, we have technical staff who are fully trained, who are educated in that area, and they are professionals in their capacity. Where we need the assistance of ad hoc, we just don't deploy them like that. We have to also train them and tell them the basic, or educate them on the basics of what is required for them to assist us in conducting our activities. Because the commission staff is about 5,000. What we may need during the actual census itself will be about the figure of between 500 to 600 helping hands to enable us to cover the entire country.
How do you guide against financial inducements in the course of this exercise?
Honestly, I've never come across a report indicating there are financial inducements. What I know is that the budget that is always given to us covers all the needs that we have budgeted for, but there are occasions when there are helping hands are given. I can give you an instance. For instance, donor partners do give us a helping hand. There are times we go to villages where there are no hotels. The communities do provide accommodation for our staff. I don't consider that as inducement. In an area, most areas that are rural, you don't have accommodation. And by the nature of our society and environment and culture, we are hospitable people. So you cannot run away from your function and say that, okay, that, but definitely most of our staff are catered for from the budget, and there is no need for inducement.
Now, it's on record that we have an annual population growth. What impact has this on national growth?
Truly, we have a very large population. In fact, the 0 to 15 years, we have 41.8%. 15 to 59, we have 54.1 or 0.9. And for 60 plus, we have 3.2% of the population. So if you look at it, the implication is that between 15 to 59, that is a very huge percentage. And that is where the most productive part of the population is. But given the environment right now, you know that because of a number of reasons, there is unemployment, because of also the huge size of the population, facilities are stretched, and because also there is absence of infrastructure, there is a lot of pressure on the existing infrastructure that the country has. Therefore, the implication is really we need to conduct the next census as early as possible, so that we'll be able to come up with an evidence-based of the population of our country and be able to guide.
Now, based on your promise, are you suggesting that there should be a national census before the general election?
Not in that order. For instance, as I told you, the government is going to have an election, or the country will have an election next year. There is no way, in my opinion, government will combine census and election at the same time. In fact, doing that will be like an invitation to a disaster. For that reason, there is no way census is likely to be conducted this year. There is also not like the likelihood of census being conducted next year. But anytime after the election, I think it can be conducted.
But experts believe that having a national census before the general election will help the election exercise in terms of achieving the credibility of the results.
Certainly, we do work closely with INEC, and certainly even the allocations that are done are based on the population of the country. Presently, we have an MOU with INEC, and the aim of the MOU is to assist INEC in order to demarcate their registration areas in line with the EADs that we are doing, so that they can also have EAs or RAs, registration areas, that will reflect their own particular needs, while we have our own EAs that will reflect our particular needs. There is no dispute about it. There is need for an accurate population. There is need for collaboration, and that what we do is to provide not only INEC, but to provide other agencies of government like the Ministry of Health with the status of the health of the population, HIV, AIDS, even tuberculosis, hypertension, anemia, and the like, because some of the questions are embedded. The number of people that are skilled, how many doctors we have, how many artisans do we have, how many engineers do we have, how many teachers do we have, what are the facilities we have, then what is the ratio between that, how many more do we need, because an environment, in an environment that is actually planning, and that is what other countries do, is that you train people on the basis of your need. If you need more doctors, you will train more doctors. If you need more engineers, you will train more engineers. If you need more artisans, you will train more artisans. And all that will only be done if you know it from the local government through to the state governments, through to the national level. And it is that juggling of where are our needs, where should be our needs, where shall be our focus, that will guide government on policy making and decision in order to be able to even allocate resources on the basis of the needs of the population. And that has not been done for now, or rather, we have not done it in the last 12 years or so, so there is need to do it in the next, as soon as possible.
From the benefit of hindsight, now there have been controversies on the outcome of the census exercise conducted by the national population. And the states have had cause to conduct their own exercise. And how do you deal with such controversies coming from different states, considering the discrepancies in the figures and the outcome of the exercise?
For us in National Population Commission, we don't introduce politics into the conduct of our exercise. Don't forget, our exercise, we are supposed to be a data gathering and research institution. And therefore, whatever we are providing is going to be true, accurate, and reliable. And the most interesting thing is that if in the past, the figures that have come out have been subjected to politicking here and there, the next census is not likely to be subjected to that same politicking for one reason, because we are preparing to deploy technology, just because there is improvement now throughout the whole world. I can know your biometrics. Your biometrics are available. If we do, for instance, a biometric census, or if we do an e-census, chances are we'll enhance the reliability of the census over and above the previous censuses, and therefore reduce to the barest minimum level the level of controversies. I think the reason is, in the past, censuses have been conducted manually, but we are planning against a census that is going to be technology-based. And if we do that, I can assure you that we are going to reduce it. However, don't forget, throughout the whole world, there is no census that is absolutely accurate.